Hey, listen, sometimes you got to tip your cap to the strikeout machine, Zach Littell. The 1-2 to Tucker. Hey, 3! Cubs lose again.
You are Locked On Cubs, your daily Chicago Cubs podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
You are Locked On Cubs, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day, alongside Sam Olber. I'm Matt Cozy. Sam and I are lifelong fans, taking our passion into discussion with you on all things Cubs. Today's episode is presented by our great partners at Monarch Money. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use promo code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. The Cubs have no control of their own baseball team right now. Jed Hoyer spoke before Tuesday's game. We get to his comments along with other news and notes later. We also continue to reflect on the struggles of the offense and maybe the expected ones as well. And we start with the Cubs losing to the Reds 5-1 on Tuesday night. Cubs are now 4 games out of first place in the NL Central. And with that, I would like to move on from tracking the division standings for now and shift to the wild card, where the Cubs are currently in the top spot. The Mets are a half game back in the second spot, Padres 3.5 in the third spot, and the Reds 5.5 back as the first team out. Sam, Shota was excellent, but the offense again stalled. Andrew Kittredge allowed 4 runs in his third appearance with his new team. And the Cubs have lost 5 out of their last 8.
This could be a tough one for me. Before I get into my stuff, want to publicly thank you for those wondering. Sam, aren't you usually solo right now? Been dealing with some stuff, so Matt's helping me tagging along on these shows the last
That's my pleasure.
And I appreciate you being on here. And that's going to pretty much end all positivity. This team is doing it again. Last year, May and June, offensive collapse. September of 23, a total team-wide collapse. They give their president of baseball operations an extension before the deadline. Things were trending. This organization is not proactive. They don't anticipate. They're reactive. And Jed goes, all right, we did what we could do, and I get it. Trust me, for all those out there, I get it. It was going to be tough to get a pitcher. They get another hitter, which we'll talk about. Do something else, because the way it was going, it wasn't good, and they're just satisfied with, hey, we've built an 85-win club. If we outperform expectations, we get to 90. We underperform, we're an 83-win team. Let's just be good enough every single year and see what happens, and it's happening right now. And the regression has come. It's lifeless. It's pathetic. It's unbelievably brutal to watch. Every time Kyle Tucker comes to the plate, I went to the kitchen to go get something, go make something, clean some dishes, whatever it is, so I don't have to watch him hit right now. Because at the end of the day, he was brought in here to avoid these team-long stretches. And right now, he's the biggest culprit of the stretch. Injury or not, then IL him. Talked about that yesterday. But this team, Matt, they got their work cut out for them on Wednesday to avoid a sweep. This game today, Matt Shaw continues to be their best hitter in the second half, which is great for him, but also just tells you where things are at. I'm really, really concerned right now, and I think this team needs a shakeup and a spark tomorrow.
Well, I have some proposals later in the show for that. I figured those guys that I'm going to propose would meet the team in St. Louis, but yeah, I suppose they could get over here for the matinee on.
Well, nothing's going to happen
Wednesday.
Tomorrow. You know that. I just,
Right, I guess I took you too literally. But yes, they do need to
4 hits.
They do need to move some things around prior to at least Friday's contest. This is like a bad dream. Okay, I want to wake up as soon as possible. I'm sleeping through the night pretty good right now. Bennett's 8 weeks old today, and he's starting to pretty much just wake up one time in the night.
I wake up about 4.
The Cubs make me wake up about 3-4 times in the night just based on their play. 5 out of their last 8, they've taken the L. 8-9 since the break, and they're just an average team, Sam, since they beat the Reds on June 1st. Everything has changed since then. You can really go back that far, and they've caused all this worry the last 17 games, all this fatalism, really. It's one thing to look at the wild card and say, okay, the Brewers are 30-9 since June 19th and 44 and whatever.
16, 44 and 16.
44 and 16, the last 60. But the bar is being lowered and lowered. Oh, they could just make the playoffs. What's happened?
Well, they stopped hitting.
It's pitiful what's happening. And the bottom of the first inning was a prime example.
That's it. That was the game.
A Bush single, a Hap walk, and John Shambi. Oh, here we go. Things are going to turn. Tucker strikeout, PCA strikeout, Willie Castro strikeout. Zach Littell strikeouts and swings and misses tonight were both season highs for him.
No, I haven't. Here, let me interrupt you. This is from Matt Wilkes, Twitter. Heck of a Reds debut for Zach Littell. His 8 strikeouts, 16 swings and misses, both season highs. Most strikeouts in a game since May of 24.
Taking any hits.
Most swings and misses in a game since September of 24. So
this team couldn't beat Prairie Ridge on the north side of Crystal Lake right now.
The first inning felt like the game.
Absolutely.
They're just broken offensively.
That's what it is.
They're just broken, and it the end of 2018, the end of 2020. This is such a common theme, and I don't. I think that they have to.
They're one of the biggest stories in the sport right now, and for all the wrong reasons, especially Tucker.
Well, and we're going to talk about this in a second, but like the Tucker part of it is not their fault. That can't happen from him, and they have to figure that out unless they're making him play hurt for some reason. But you knew you were getting out performances. Seiya Suzuki has a 4-year track record of who he is, and Michael Bush is who he is. So I don't know, Matt. I really feel like they made their bed with this. I mean, you're sitting on their hands and waiting for things to happen instead of making things happen. And I think that they're going to have to make a change. They're going to have to do something, because if they continue to just, as Jed said today, hey, some guys right now aren't hitting. Hopefully they start hitting soon. If they continue to have that mindset, they will be out of the playoffs. Let's talk about a couple things maybe that they can do coming up next.
Today's episode is brought to you by Game Day Hue, and so is this hat I'm wearing. For sports fans like me, this one hits the mark. Game Day Hue makes clean, no-logo gear with team-inspired colors for every pro and college fan base. It's all about letting your colors speak for you. No giant logos, just smart, versatile styles that work on game day, on the course, or anywhere in between. This marooned hat I got sent to me by Game Day Hue is actually the colors of the school I teach at. Excited to rock it this fall on Football Friday nights in the booth there as I do PA announcing at my school. Excited about that. And Game Day Hue sent me a golf glove in Cubs colors. This is their split shade glove made for the golf course, or the perfect gift for the fan who has everything golf related. Right now, you can get 15% off with code MLB15 at GameDayHue.com. That's GameDayHue, HUE.com. Let your colors talk, because colors speak louder than words. GameDayHue.com, code MLB15.
We're back here on Locked On Cubs. Matt, look, Jed always talks about outperforming expectations. And you got This is the ultimate outperforming expectations. Bush, for a while, Seiya, Pete. If Pete Crow-Armstrong goes 0 for his next 30, he's still outperformed expectations going into this year.
Wow.
Carson Kelly, Nico, maybe even a little bit, whatever it is. So if you're going to expect to outperform expectations, don't you also have to plan and anticipate that at some point Bush is going to hit a funk because he's not a 900 plus OPS hitter? We have 4 years of evidence that says Seiya Suzuki's not a 900 OPS hitter. So I guess my first question would be, shouldn't the Cubs not be surprised that this offense is regressing outside of Tucker?
Yes, and they should have taken measures within the lines of play to try to upend some of this and actually play baseball. You can't outslug everybody all the time. You can't outpitch everybody all the time. And you need to turn your flaws into opportunities with some of your guys who do have better bat to ball skills, whatever it is. One of the main things that I'm frustrated by right now is actually a little bit, I think, underrated, is the Horner leading off against lefties thing.
Mm-hmm.
He's the most clutch player on the team. Why is he leading off?
Well, yeah. Well, now I'm getting.
You said that's in 4 years.
I'm getting deja vu from like early 2023, and I don't want that.
Right. But yes, they should have prepared for it. What Hoyer especially said Tuesday before the game, Sam, was discouraging.
Yeah.
And the part about, they'll get hot again.
Yeah. Right.
We'll get the state. We'll get hot again, and the offense and the team itself. But you're right. Seiya's had these stretches. A lot of these guys were outperforming their baseball card as
Seiya has one of these stretches every year.
Well,
every
absolutely.
year.
Hap has 40 of them a year.
Well, listen, some
Swanson, too.
fiery quotes from the Cubs manager after this one. Craig Counsell quote.
Really?
The name of the game is to square the ball up and get on base. We're just in a little rut right now. We're not doing it.
A little rut.
No. End quote. That makes me want to run through a wall. That's inspiring.
He looks bored in the dugout.
Sometimes you need a guy to flip a table. Sometimes you need a guy to light a fire. People can laugh at me all you want. Works for the Brewers. They beat the 27 Yankees. They'd have Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig so confused they'd just be butting the ball back to the mound. All right. So what do you think? They face a lefty tomorrow. It's unlikely, but I haven't looked ahead to the Cardinals series. Don't you think they gotta make a move, get Casey up here or Ballesteros to just inject some life? Hey, have the tough conversation with Ian Happ. It's not that tough. Hey, you're a part-timer right now. It's part-time production. Or you say, hey, Kyle, if whatever is happening right now, we don't have a chance with you performing like this. I need a 10-day reset. We're going to bring up Ballesteros. You're going to the IL. We'll call it the finger. Maybe it is the finger. You need a reset mentally right now. Whatever it is. Is that something you think's possible?
I really think I do think there is a chance that happens, especially with Tucker to the IL, because they can't look at themselves with a straight face and go, oh, we're going to play Tucker for the 5 games against the Brewers at Wrigley, and he's going to be 75, 85%. And if they do, it's inappropriate. It's absolutely wild if they do that. So you'd have to hit the IL basically Wednesday or Thursday, or I guess Friday at the latest, to be back for at least some of the Brewers series. There's 4 names that I think would be candidates to come up here. The 2 are really clear, Ballesteros and Casey.
Yep.
And then 2 more down the page, but one has been good against lefties this year. One we keep hearing about, but all he really does is hit, and that's Kevin Alcantara and Jonathan Long, respectively. Mm-hmm. So you really have 4 names there, but I think at the very least we should see Ballesteros meet the team in St. Louis. And I do want to put this out there almost 15 minutes in.
Yeah.
Why does this just have to be a position player? I understand the offense is broken, but at some point, an effective and healthy pitching prospect should be helping the major league team and maybe not the Double-A Knoxville Smokies.
Yeah.
And really what I would like to see Friday is Ballesteros to meet the team in St. Louis and Jackson Wiggins.
Yeah, I think they need a shakeup. My one shakeup suggestion makes absolutely no sense on paper, but I don't do things on paper. I like to use a little bit of feel. And that is
wait, what was that?
Feel. F-E-E. No,
chicken veal.
No, feel with an F.
Feel.
Yeah. Something that this organization doesn't usually do a whole lot
that this organization lacks.
I'm tired of watching guys who don't know how to lead off. Michael Busch isn't a leadoff hitter. Right. Ever since he's gone to the leadoff spot versus righties, it doesn't work. Just give the keys to Pete and just say, hey, I don't care what you do. Just go. This team needs your energy right now, right? This team needs your personality, your charisma. I don't care about your on base right now, whatever. This team needs a guy to jolt. They need a jolt. Not going to happen versus a lefty, but I would just have Pete lead off, send Hap to the 7-8 hole or Ballesteros and go from there. Just this team needs energy. It reminds me so much of the last couple years and the most inexcusable part of this baseball game. They struck out 10 times. This is not a strikeout Reds group that you faced.
Tucker 3 times, 1 looking.
Littell, Ashcraft, Mole, and Santillan. I mean, they had 4 base heads.
I mean, I'd like to think they could sneak in like a 1-0 or 2-1 win Wednesday, but it's unlikely.
I'm getting Candelario vibes from Castro, by the way.
Yeah. Why is it that now 3 straight, would it be August is the plural form?
August.
Why August now 3 in a row, the month of August?
Yeah.
It's just a rough feeling.
Yeah. Well,
it should be a great time of year.
Paredes came in here. He didn't hit. And Castro got off to that good start. He had a good game or two.
1 game.
Yeah.
Okay, stop with the good start. He went 2 for 2 on Saturday. Then he ended up 2 for 4. Okay, just enough.
Yeah, no. Well, that was
good start. And then they parade him out every game at a new position.
Well, Candelario,
he's Will Ferrell in that spring training game 10 years ago. Please.
Well, Candelario had that great week, and everyone said it was a good thing. I don't think he got a hit afterwards.
Yeah, he got 3 hits after.
So, and another really smooth move from Jed with Kittredge today. First of all,
he looked awful.
I don't know how the hitter doesn't pick up what he's throwing because he takes it out of the glove so early, but it did seem like the Reds knew what was coming tonight.
I'm not too excited about Rogers either. Can I be honest? I mean,
speaking of the trade deadline, the Cubs traded for Michael Soroka, and we're not sure when we will see him again. Let's talk about that unmitigated fiasco coming up next. This episode is brought to you by Monarch Money. You ever wish managing your money felt easier? With Monarch Money, it can. Whether you're growing your savings or planning a big purchase, Monarch puts you in the driver's seat. It's like having your own personal CFO giving you full visibility and control over your finances. Monarch Money is more than a budgeting app. It's a complete financial command center. You can track all your accounts, investments, and spending in one place. So in addition to managing your money, you're also building wealth. Guys, for me, it's about cooking or lack thereof. I use way too many delivery food services. I order out too much. It wasn't until I started using Monarch how much I was spending and how much I could be saving. So take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONMLB for half off your first year. Last night, Michael Soroka made his Cubs debut. It was short-lived. He got injured in the second inning with what the Cubs are calling a right shoulder injury, shoulder soreness. The official update from Craig Counsell just came out 6 minutes ago. He will be shut down for 7 to 10 days and then will be reevaluated afterwards. I have no idea what that means. I don't know if that means he's shut down. Does he then just start playing catch? For those that don't know, it came out pretty late last night as I was struggling to sleep and reading about it that, Michael Soroka, his velocity was down. And at the end of July, I want to say July 29th, just for a peace of mind, he got an MRI, which obviously came back clean. But, there were some red flags attached to this. And this was really the big starting pitching move the Cubs made because it's the only one that they made. And Jed Hoyer spoke this afternoon, and I'm quoting here, "We knew the velocity was trending down." Jed Hoyer, president of baseball operations, said, "We talked through that extensively. Given the market, given the asking price, we felt like it was a good bet to make. Right now, it's not looking like a good bet," end quote. Matt?
Well, and his injury history was actually not too much of a topic of conversation when the news broke, when they acquired him. It was really his lack of being an impact talent. And then you throw his injury history in there, and now you do play a little bit of revisionist history of why did they even take this chance? No, he's not like Matthew Boyd, Craig Counsell. Stop comparing Soroka to Boyd. It's not a fair comparison. I understand Boyd has an injury history, but it's not like his velo was dropping and they had all these concerns. No, Soroka the last month has really dropped in not only production but the under the hood metrics as well. And for that to be their lone pitching acquisition and for him to make it literally 2 innings is now another part of this list in August here that's resulting in the bad dream scenario. And it'd be one thing to go light on the deadline, but now you basically traded for no starting pitcher. Can you predict injury? No. But it just seems like it was a perfect storm of factors, and Jed really will need to wear this one because it was poor.
You're being too kind. It doesn't matter if it's revisionist history or not. If you have a need and you barely address that need, and the dude you barely address that need with is coming with concerns, and he gets hurt 2 innings in, it is inexcusable, and it is a bad look, even if you couldn't predict it.
Right. He should have been the second guy they got.
Yeah, at the very least. But
right.
This is a business based on results. And I know that bothers a lot of analytic people because you could hit the ball hard and it finds a glove. But at the end of the day, you're judged on results. Nobody remembers how many lucky wins you have. Nobody remembers how unlucky you are. At the end of the year, you go, did you make the playoffs? How many wins did you get? And did you win a world championship? Nobody's going to look back in 50 years and go, man, that Rangers team that beat the Diamondbacks, they were never the same since. That wasn't no. Well, they won their World Series,
Yeah.
I don't care what the process was. It was already a bad deadline. You can't miss like that. And I don't know. I'm not a doctor, which I think I've made clear many times on this very program. But it doesn't sound good. Just doesn't. My hope would be September, maybe out of the bullpen. But
I'm not counting on anything from him.
Yeah, I'm not counting on anything either.
I moved on from Soroka,
and that's really sad. That's really
Soroka,
sad.
Mike, gone.
Yeah. Counsell spoke to some stuff there. Was asked if Ben Brown's going to be the logical replacement right now until Assad and Tyone come back. He said possibly, but then cited the off days. There's a lot of off days, so maybe he goes 4-man. But I got to tell you, Shota's a different dude on 4 days versus 5 days. And so I'd rather see them piece together something instead of rushing him back. And Assad,
I think Ben Brown is going to give a lot of innings.
And then Assad and Tyone will be back, hopefully in a couple weeks. I would expect to see them. You'll see them in the Brewers series.
Yeah, a couple weeks is a good target for the Brewers series. Great target. I think Assad's going to make
that's really gonna. Can't wait to rush over. Hey, the Brewers are all right. We got Tyone and Assad back.
Well, Assad's probably going to make 2 more starts at AAA. Tyone is going to make it 1, maybe 2 more. Ben Brown's going to need to give big innings again down the stretch here.
Oh, excellent news.
Colin Ray isn't going anywhere. They're still going to have to closely monitor Horton and Boyd and really Imanaga too. So it's really all coming up roses right now on the north side when it comes to all aspects of their team.
Last thing.
Assad against Peralta will be fun.
Last thing. Council did have a little comment I thought was interesting today when asked about Tucker's ground ball rate, and he kind of just said, half sarcastically, well, you can't hit the ball in the air right now at Wrigley. How much do you attribute the Cubs' struggles again this year lately, just the way Wrigley's played to the wind? And is it something? It's something now it's 2 years in a row that this park plays like one of the biggest parks in baseball.
For this year, I feel like it's milder. It's a milder contributing factor.
I agree.
To really this offensive volcano, if you will, the volcano of nothingness that they've produced the last few weeks. But with that being said, now 2 years of evidence piled up that the park is going to play like it has, which is way bigger than it sits there on Clark and Addison, then why aren't they doubling down on more of station to station stuff?
Contact, speed, going first to third, playing hit and run, playing run and hit, and moving the baseball. Hit them where they ain't.
And should they acquire players this winter who could do that?
Yes. And maybe have a manager that believes in it too.
Man, hard to believe. So you mean to tell me that he spent that many years with that org, but he just kind of was lukewarm on it? Then he leaves. He's like, oh, let's hit it out of the park.
Well, no, they hit a lot of homers with him. Those were Yelich years and things like that. Listen, all I could say about Craig is, and I don't think
and he only managed 7 or 8 innings there, by the way.
I have the same opinion on Craig. I think he's a fine manager, just not what we expected. But same thing with the Jed Soroka thing. You can't just sit here and ignore the fact that the Brewers have won 44 of 60 games without him, and last year won 93 games. I mean, how much impact was he really having on that club and that organization? Yeah. It's a fair question, Matthew.
Yeah, it is.
So that's that.
Oh, that's going to do it, I believe.
Yeah, that's it, Matt. And
Horton and Abbott on Wednesday. We'll be back Wednesday evening.
You get swept, it gets real serious.
Wow. This is Locked On Cubs, part of the Locked On Podcast Network.
It might be 9 out by September.
For your second listen. What would the math be behind that?
Well, what if the Brewers
come 9 out of the division, you mean?
Yeah, out of the division, yeah.
Oh, okay.
The Brewers come in here, take 4 out of 5.
Get local analysis on a national scale and MLB Game Night on the Locked On MLB channel on YouTube.
Zarowski.
Or wherever you listen to podcasts. He's Sam Olber. I'm Matt Cozy. This is Locked On Cubs. Oh, no.